Hello, everyone. My name is Evgeniy Martynov. I'm a part of the Key Advertiser Management team. And this webinar, we decided to go a little bit more general because previously we had a couple of events where we went really into the industry's details, where our colleagues and our partners from other companies shared some information. And we just decided to to share some information with you for those who wanted to test our traffic and our DSP for a long time, or maybe you did it before and you just didn't find some features to push your campaigns. So I'm personally working with advertisers on a daily basis, so this is what I do, and I just decided on behalf of our team share some little details that might help you push your results. But before we go into details, before we start setting up the actual campaigns in our amazing interfaced DSP, I wanted to ask a little question. Just please participate in the poll. I'm sorry. Let's do it. Please answer what vertical you guys are running your ads in. What in general, which campaign verticals do you work with? It's really important because based on this information, I can take the presentation a little bit on the next level, so we can, fine tune and speak about specific features, which might help you, push the results. Okay, let's wait a little bit more before everyone replies. And if during the presentation, what I'm going to be super excited as always, telling about our amazing DSP. If you have any questions, please use the question and answer function. And my colleagues will be on standby, so they will reply something. And if they don't, I will check the chat at the end of the presentation just to make sure that everything you're interested in we cover. So let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's finish the poll so we can go and show off our amazing system that I really like working with because it's super user friendly. All right, thank you very much who participated, and let's go to the actual presentation. Great. So when you register, when you log in or register, this is the page you go usually. You go to the home page, and right here, straightforward, you have the button Create a Campaign. Let's do it. Let's press this button, and here some people get a little bit confused because what's Express Campaign, what's Advanced Campaign? This is actually the topic of our presentation, so we're gonna go and look at them in details, at both of them. And even after the presentation, if you get a little bit confused with this, what should I do, Express Campaign or Advanced Campaign, just go down here. We have all the advantages of each type of the campaign creation, so you can look at it and just decide for yourself which one you prefer. I personally do not prefer anything because it depends, because we have really specific projects where we have to be a little bit flexible and creative. And depending on the vertical of the campaign that you do, it's recommended to use or Advanced or Express. So it depends. So if you have something really generic, you go to Express. If you have something more detailed, you go to Advanced. But again, it depends. Let's start with the Advanced. Let's click Create Campaign. Both of them are similar. It's the same logic. It's the same function, just that Advanced campaign type has a little bit more features because it's called Advanced. So the first one is the campaign name that we have to put. This is very important, and it's easier for us for managers if you just don't put just, I don't know, campaign or, I don't know, Android. If you put, I don't know, Android, then you put the country. Let's just say it's the United States, or let's just say it's English speaking, yeah. I don't know, for example, CPM, let's do it, Android, CPM, and the name of the product. I'm not gonna do any product placement, so it's just recommended. It will be easier for us to help you optimize the campaigns. So the next step we have to do is to choose the traffic. So here, everyone knows what traffic they're looking for, so you have to choose between desktop, console traffic, smartphone, tablets, and other devices. If you click on other devices, you can see what other devices we mean here. So choose the ones you need. Let's do the presentation with, because I already put Android and CPM, let's do smartphone and tablet, mobile traffic. And here next we go to the location choice. So I put English speaking, let's do United States. Then if you put the comma, it pops up much quicker. Then we do United Kingdom. You can, if you know the country codes, you can put the country code directly. So like, for example, Canada, and then you put the comma and it pops up directly. You click next. Also, if it's a worldwide campaign, a little trick here, click on worldwide and then click list view. So because if you have, for example, I don't know, 200 campaigns, 200 locations, countries where you want to run the campaign, I mean, it will really, it will take you a day to put everything into the list. So just choose worldwide and then just go through the list and remove the countries which you don't need. It's much easier and much faster to save your time. You can click it's here and then see the countries this way. But you can also clear everything and then come back to where you were. So we have the United States, Canada, let's not complicate things. And let's just use these 3 countries, UK, sorry. And the comma. We'll click next, and then we'll go probably to one of the most important, maybe one of the most important parts of the campaign creation. So it's the targeting part, because of course, to target your to get better results, you have to target your campaigns and fine tune it as much as possible, so that the most specific requests meet the most specific demand, so to say. So here you have to choose the supply sources. Adcash DSP provides 5 formats, so you can see all of them here listed: pop under, display, native ads, push notification, and interstitial sources. Because I already said that we're DSP, it means that we work both directly with the websites, with direct websites, web traffic, and we work via RTB with some agencies, other traffic sources like us. So it's pretty transparent which sources we work with. And it's up to you if you want to run on everything or if you want to run just on Adcash. So just unselect everything and choose Adcash, for example. Let's do the presentation based on interstitial traffic. It's one of our top formats, and it's just a little bit more specific than pop under because you have to upload the creative. I will also show how it's done. So here, unselect everything and just choose Adcash. So it means that if the campaign is set up like this, it will be shown only on the websites that we work directly with, not via the RTB thing. So also a little thing, allow traffic from new supply sources. I always recommend to keep it open if you already, if you know more volumes, because imagine our amazing publisher team tomorrow brings, I don't know, 100 new websites. And if you have it switched off, it means that if today you launched it like this, tomorrow you will not get the traffic from those websites. So it's really important that you kind of keep your campaign fresh and that new traffic sources get a chance to perform on your offer. Then we go next, and here directly we have user interest feature, which is the advanced feature, which I encourage you to test. Also, please check here in the right corner, you have potential daily impressions. It's an amazing widget which helps you understand more or less how much impressions potentially you can get with the targeting you put. So later on, we're going to apply some targeting rules, and then you will see the number here will be changing. It also might help you see if you did something wrong. It could show like 0 or 2. It means that probably you did some contradicting targeting rules, which you have to change later. So back to user interest. User interest, it's a very interesting feature because it helps us collect some data from the websites which share this data. It's called advanced because it's an advanced technology, because some websites don't share it. For example, let's see if I unselect everything and if I choose, so let's do, for example, games. So in this case, if you also click on the plus, you will see the sub-interests, so to say. What is interest? Interest is the browser history data, basically, of the users which were looking for something similar, and then we know about it, and then we show your ad based on this. So if you need people who are interested into the games, you should use this. But look how the volumes change. So from 2 million, we go to 163. This is why I encourage you to test it, but I would say that you should not concentrate only on this, because again, it's not because in this case we have a few volumes. It means that not all the websites share this data, and it means that they are not getting your ads. So If you don't know what to start from, just go as wide as possible and then start optimizing little by little. So let's select everything back here and keep the campaign general. So we're back to 2 million impressions. Then we go to another advanced feature. It's called website categories. It's basically a similar thing, but here you will be targeting here you'll be reaching your potential audience not based on their interests, but what they previously were looking for. But here you will be choosing from the sources, the type of the sources, for example. It means that's the inside of the websites, like the content of the websites. In this case, it's not going to be about what the users were looking for. Here, it's about what websites they visit. For example, if it's again about games, it will be game-related websites, for example. The same, unselect everything, select what you need. You can also click on the plus and see the sub. You can see the sub sections here. Let's select everything back again because we're having just a generic campaign, not any specific example, just for you to see how it works. Then we go to probably more typical targeting rules of device. So it's OS name. We named the campaign Android. So let's stick to it. It's going to be Android. Yes, let's choose it. And then here it's important, exclude and target only. In our case, we need to target it. So please don't mix this up because if you exclude it, it will be 0 impressions here. So always check this box to understand if you did the mistake. It's my advice to you, it's not a rule or something. And then always click apply targeting rule because sometimes, again, I'm working with many clients on a daily basis and I get those things. That's why I'm sharing this with you so you avoid doing some mistakes and just save your time and have a better experience with Adcash. So we chose Android. It says saved here and it will appear down here, all the targeting you put. Then you can choose OS name and version. In this case, let's see how it works. It's going to be Android 1, I don't know, Android 3. Oh, I have some interesting visitors here. I'm sorry for this. So we choose the targeting 3, Android version 3. Then the same, we have browser, which you can choose from. But this is important here that if you are choosing the browser, please choose it for the mobile. For example, if you want to do Chrome, choose Chrome mobile and click target only. Then we have browser name and version, the same thing. And we have browser language. Browser language, it's a little bit specific because, again, if you're running for some countries like United States, where people speak many different languages, and then if you choose only English, for example, here, English, and if you target it, you see we already have 0 impressions just because we put Chrome mobile. Let's remove it, clicking on the trash bin. And yeah, you see, not all the websites share this. And maybe if you have a very wide campaign, maybe it doesn't make sense to just put English browser language if your offer is not English only, for example. So just for you to know that it exists, or if vice versa, for example, if you need English speakers in Germany or any other language speakers for example, in France, you can target this, click target only, and then your ad will be shown only to the users which speak this language, which use it as the browser language. So next would be, yeah, it's easily removed here like this. Then we have content. You can choose domain. You can exclude or target only any specific domain. For example, yeah, any domain which you don't want to get traffic from, you just put, I don't know, let's put Amazon.com. Like if by any chance you don't want to get traffic from there, from anything connected to it, so it will be added here like this. Again, it's excluded in this case. If you want to remove it, just click on the bin and here we are. Then URL keywords. URL keywords, it's another advanced feature which I really encourage you and want you to test because some people don't know that we have it. Please don't mix it up with Google AdWords because it's not the same keywords. It's the keywords, it's like a very granular thing. It's keywords in the metadata of the website, also the keywords in the name of the link. For example, if you're looking for a specific section of the website where you want your ads to be displayed, you put this keyword thing. Let's just say if you have, I don't know, if we're talking about sports betting, for example, you can choose football. And it will directly lead you to the website if you target it only like this. It will directly lead your ads to the specific section or the sites which have it in their structure. So we have it here. Let's remove it again, not to have, because you see we already don't have any volumes for this targeting because the campaign is too specific. Next thing is connection type, because some campaigns need Wi-Fi or cellular, for example, or 3G. If it's 3G only, so go and target it. If it's for any specific mobile carrier, just go with, let's say, Vodafone. Oops, sorry. But it's United States here we're talking about, so it doesn't have any Vodafone. It's just an example for you so you know how to apply this targeting. Again, let's remove it here, and then let's go to another section where we add the creatives. You remember we were choosing between the formats, so here, I mean, you don't have to switch them off there in the targeting section, so you just have to put the needed format here. We were talking about interstitial, let's click on it. Let's put the URL, it's gonna be called URL. That easy. If you run the campaigns like CPA targets, or CPA campaigns, CPI campaigns, it's important that you have the targeting in place, tracking, sorry, S2S tracking in place. So in this case, you would need click ID to be added. The system always puts this here, so you can choose from other macros and then go with it like this. I mean, it depends on the system that you're using. So, but it's just for you to know that tracking is needed. And if you're using some platforms, and for example, some people don't put the click ID, but their platform already puts this parameter into the link, then our system reminds you that you need to add this. Then we need to put the creative, because we have an interstitial campaign. So choose the creative, upload it. Like this. You can always have a look at it here. Just click on the creative. It pops up here. Because it's an interstitial, so it's that type of the campaign which you can skip after seconds, after 5 seconds. You can always edit the link here, so you can remove something which you don't need, click save, and then go to the next section. Let's go next. So here, which we put the budget. And speaking about the budget, let's have a little question I prepared for you. So what monthly budget do you usually spend? It's really interesting to us. So like, how much do you think, how much do you spend, and then average? Let's wait for some time. Let you reply, because it's really important, because some campaigns, you know, they're very generic. I don't know, for example, if I had a client who was selling face masks because it's a quarantine time, so for them, it doesn't, I mean, they just wanted to show the ads. They didn't have any specific requirements because it was a startup. So, I mean, it was a beautifully done website selling face masks in different designs. So, and here you have to understand, because if you go really wide, you cannot expect that immediately you get some results. So some campaigns need investigation. So you spend some budget on specific countries, then you find the right sources, then you optimize per those sources, maybe increase your spending there, and vice versa. But some campaigns, you already ran them with other networks, and then you already know more or less how much you should spend per country per day, for example. Okay, let's finish the poll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you. Thank you for participating. It will really help us to understand who our client is and who is visiting our webinar, so we can have a better approach to you next time. So speaking about the budget, about this section, here you can choose how your campaign will run. For example, some offers don't perform well on weekend, and some of them vice versa do better. So just click here Saturday, Sunday. With this specific setup, your ads will pause, they will not be receiving traffic. So in this case, you should keep the campaign active. It will just pause by itself on Saturday and Sunday. Well, it actually will be active in the system, but it will not be receiving any impressions. It's also important that here, for example, if you not only choose a specific day, but a specific time that the campaign runs in, you choose it, but in GMT +2. So if you have countries like, in our case, United States and Canada, so you have to use some converters to make sure that you put the time you actually wanted to put. This is how it's done. And don't forget to click save in the end, because if you don't do it, then the targeting does not get applied. So let's put it back to 24/7. Total budget. It's a bit tricky here. If you know, or for example, if you can't spend more than 500 or 100 or whatever, for example, you go custom. If you want the campaign to pause exactly after, I don't know, $100 or $500 is spent, you just put the amount here, and then you choose the time within the budget will run. For example, if we put from 10th until 12th, from 10th, like this. And if for some reason, for example, the targeting is too specific, or the campaign is not getting enough traffic because of the payout, for example, if the campaign does not spend those 500, it will still pause because the campaign is time limited in this case. So click apply and it will be applied, but you can go back to unlimited, which I actually encourage to, because sometimes people forget that they put the budget, the campaign stops, and then it's a Sunday and nobody can do anything because you don't know what happened. So I recommend to put daily budgets and play with the daily budgets and keep track on your spend using this. So let's remove it and let's put unlimited back. Here we go to the bidding part. So we spoke about CPM. Let's take a look at CPM and then later explain what these targeting features are. So CPM, recently we introduced a very advanced and cool feature, which is 3 bids per country. In this case, we divided traffic sources per tires. It's not the tires that we all know, that the countries, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. It's the tires based on our experience, of the experience of our whole network. So the ones that are very competitive, the sites that everyone wants, the sites everyone pays high price, and then the performance-wise as well. So here we divided them into quality, let's call it, but it's quality, it's popularity, and then it's the conversion rate, of course, and the price, of course, because the more you pay, the better quality traffic you get. So here we are, quality tier 1. So you can put 3 bids if you want. The system always suggests you the average bids. So you can click on them and they will appear here. And you also can do plus or minus. For example, if you think that this average is a little bit above your budget, over your budget, you just put, I don't know, plus 10, and it will be calculated here. If it's too complicated for you, or if, for example, if you don't want to test, because it's 3 countries, let's admit it's 3 countries divided into 3 tiers. If you think it's a lot, just go back to 1 bid per country as usual. But here you also have this convenient thing to plus or minus from the average. Just, because you don't have to do it manually, because if you have many campaigns, imagine, and many countries in them, you just put it here and it's applied to everything, which is really cool. And you can remove it here. Very easy and very, very useful thing. And never forget to save the changes, because if you don't, you have to do it from scratch again. So here's the daily budget. Daily budget is also very important because it depends on what you're targeting. If you're targeting 10 countries, and if you put, I don't know, 10, or sometimes people target 30 countries and they want to spend $9 per day, this is too much. So I always recommend to divide the campaigns. And then if you want to go small, but separately, so that you go United States, you go UK and Canada separately with a lower budget, just to see the websites that are there per every specific countries, because it's really important that you don't waste budget just to see, how the platform works. It's really cool that if your budget is small, try to apply it as smart as possible. And if you have any questions, by the way, here on the right, you can always click and we have the knowledge library where you can look for the answers. If you don't get those answers from the knowledge library, you can always contact us, the Key Advertiser team or the support team. So we will leave the contacts later. Let's have 100 daily budgets. And here we are. And the last step is the overview. It's the overview of the entire work which we just did. So you can see everything here. You can go and also click on everything again, just to make sure that you chose everything you wanted to choose. So, and then you click Create Campaign. When it's done, the campaign is created and the system congratulates you because yes, you actually become a customer of ours when you have the campaign created and sent to validation. The campaign needs to be validated just to make sure that we see that the targeting is right, because sometimes, you know, the link doesn't work. So don't be nervous about it, because it's better for you that it's actually validated by someone, because sometimes maybe the parameter is not added correctly. Maybe the link doesn't open. Maybe you just excluded something that you wanted to include, or vice versa. So you can, from here, you can create another campaign, or you can go to the campaign list, which is another section of the platform, and you can see the actual campaigns. And this one is in validation status. It's the one that we just created. If you cannot edit it in the validation status, so you have to decline it here, cancel validation, confirm. If you want to add something, if you forgot something, and then just click on the campaign. And here we're back to the targeting, but the campaign that already exists. So this was about the advanced campaigns. Let's go and see what the express campaigns are. It's the same logic. It's much easier, much faster. So express campaigns you can use, for example, if you want, for example, if you have 10 countries and if you just need traffic there, you know, if you just need volumes, if you want to run on CPM, you already know what kind of volumes you need. So it's really fast. You can create those campaigns and don't spend that much time on the targeting, because it's just one widget here, one section. So let's choose pop under. Let's also put some casino, some famous casino brand, CPM. Let's do, I don't know, let's do Spain. We put the link here. Then again, we don't forget about the tracking, because never forget about it. You should measure your results. You should see how your money is spent, and then how what actual outcome you get. Also, don't forget about the zone. It's another parameter which helps you optimize traffic later. The same, you have to choose desktop and mobile, or if you need more advanced, like in advanced campaigns, you can click here and choose from it. So let's do desktop this time. The same logic. So we chose Germany, right? We chose Spain, so we put Spain here. And the targeting rules, again, if you want the new sources to be added, just add it here. Supply sources. So you can see and select everything and choose Adcash or any other SSPs which you know that work well for you. Click back on it. Here you can see user interest, the same feature which we just saw, website category. Operating systems, it's a similar logic. It's just that here you don't have the choice to actually look up for it. So you have to choose the one that you want to target. And if you don't see anything that, for example, you want to exclude, so exclude others in this case. If you receive, or for example, if you already have the campaign and you're receiving something that you don't want to receive, which is not here in the list, just choose others. So let's go back to the browsers. It's the same logic here. There's no search engine, but you just choose others again, you untick it. Then we go browser language, similar logic, targeted only and exclude English language, for example, or the system gives you all the languages which you can get. Target only. Connection type, the same. Cable would be 3G, will be 4G, 5G, depending on the country. And sorry, it's Wi-Fi, vice versa. Cellular is 3G and 5G. Then we go organizations. It's the mobile carriers. So depending on, again, on your campaign vertical, you go to that targeting. Then we have the zones. And here, let me show you one thing. It's not the blacklist and whitelist, which you usually just put the zone. It's that you have to create the zone list first. So let's call it the list. Then you put the zones which you want to exclude or include. So you just do it here like this. It doesn't let us, yeah, okay, now it's done. So In this case, with this targeting, the zones which we have here in the list are excluded, so it's a blacklist. But the best part is that if you create a new campaign, for example, and if you want to apply the same zone list, you don't have to create it again. You just have to look up for it. So here's the list, and then it's excluded. Or you can target it if you want to actually whitelist those countries. Oh, sorry, those sites for websites. So schedule is the same. You do the daily targeting or the hour targeting, depending on your needs. Then you have traffic restriction. It's adult traffic. We are by default a mainstream network, but still for some countries and for some formats of traffic, we have adult sources as well. So you have to put it because by default it's switched off. Then we go to the beads, and beads, in this case, depending on the format and the express campaigns, it's a bit limited because in advanced campaigns, you can choose out of all the types that we have. So, and because I wanted to mention it here. So CPA target is available for POP 100 always. For some formats, it's not available because it's a very, very interesting algorithm that we created to help people push their campaigns when, for example, you're not sure that CPM will, apart from volumes, bring you the results immediately. If the budget is limited, if you're not sure, CPA target is basically a mix of CPM, where you pay for impressions, and CPA. Should it be per leads, like CPL, or per installation, CPI, and vice versa. So here you choose the target. Let's do it together. Let's just say it's $1 per conversion. So you can choose actually the freshness of impression. Let's just say it's one per day or one per hour, or I don't know, you can do one impression per, yeah, the standard is one impression per 24 hours, but you can choose still for minutes, and here you are. So in this case, you have to create the goal. You choose the goal. If it's registration, it should be registration. So, but here for the goal, you need the postback to be implemented. So you need to have some tracking tool to do it. We'll probably cover the tracking thing in our next webinars because it's a very complex topic. And yeah, we actually did something with our partners, which you can see on our YouTube channel. But yeah, don't forget about the tracking, and CPA target works only with the tracking in place. So here we have the same for the budget, and then we have the zone capping, for example. If you want to get not more than specific amount of impressions from each zone, for example, you use it. But again, for CPA target, it's not necessary because CPA target is a very smart tool which kind of bids more on the campaign, on the zones which bring you conversions, so that your final result is matching your expectations. For example, if you put if we put CPA target $1 and if we put the daily budget $100, so it means that we expect to get 100 conversions. And CPA target, depending again on how your campaign converts, will try to bring you those 100 conversions, if not even more. And sometimes, trust me, it's even more. So if it's possible to bring you cheaper conversions, CPA target will definitely bring this. So it basically does the job, or the optimization job for you. Submit the campaign. It's the same way it goes to validation. Yeah, here the system tells us that we should integrate the tracking to use CPA target. Let's go to campaign list because we're done here. Let's not send it to validation because the tracking is not done. So I also encourage you to use, so here you can see the zone lists, use it so you can refresh the zone lists and edit them for your further campaign creation. Also use the reports. Maybe we will feature this in our next webinars because it's a pretty complex thing as well. Then the tracking and financing settings. So it's pretty easy. As you can see, it's very user-friendly, and we really want you to be testing all the features that we have, because it's not just only the link and the country and the bid. It's also, it should be more granular. It should be more smart, and it should be more targeted. And depending on your vertical, because if you're running on, I don't know, games, datings, mobile apps, you should understand that they work on specific, for example, operation systems, or in specific browsers. Some browsers, they're very old, and some people, like, you more or less can understand what age of people are using those browsers, for example, and so on. So be as specific as you can, and we never come empty-handed. So thank you very much that you've been with us. we have a little bonus as always. Those who visit our webinars, you know that we always have some welcome bonuses for newcomers. As you can see, here are the conditions. And here is how you can get it. So it's simple. You have to create your account, make the deposit, and then send an email to bonus@adcash.com with a holiday bonus in the subject, and share your ID. It should be new, but I mean, if you have any questions, please contact us, contact me personally, or contact our support team, and we will help you understand basically everything that you need. So we can help you, we can guide you in the campaign creation process, we can guide you with some issues that you had. If you had them, hope you didn't. And yeah, thank you very much for your attention. I hope you really enjoyed it, because I enjoyed it very much. Sorry for the noise, but things happen, you know, work from home, hello, quarantine and everything. So have a great evening, guys. And that's me, by the way. So you can contact me. And if your request is too specific, or if you already have the manager, I will make sure that your manager will hear about your issue or about your request, and we will meet you with the people who can solve it. Thank you very much again. Have a great evening and stay tuned, because we have more things prepared to you as always.